What's up, guys? I hope everybody's doing good today. So in this video we're going to talk about 5 ways on how to be independent, or 5 ways in becoming more independent. Right? It could be at any point in life regarding your age. It could be adolescence, because some people mature quicker. Young adults, or even older adults. And I hope these 5 ways of becoming independent can actually help you in maximizing your life, in maximizing your potential, in maximizing the gifts that God has given to you. So let's get into the video. Number 1, you need to learn more about yourself. Right? If you want to become more independent, or if you want to become independent, you need to learn more about yourself. You need to know what you want as a person, as an individual. Right? And knowing what you want doesn't mean you should just have knowledge of it. You should also act upon it. Put some action onto what you already know you want in life. Right? There's so many things we can be gunning for in life. Right? Probably a certain qualification, probably a certain lifestyle, probably a certain goal that you want to accomplish. No matter how small, no matter how big it is, you should know what you want, and also after knowing it, you should put in the work. You should act upon it, and by so doing, you're actually creating a sense of independence in knowing what you want and acting upon it. Sometimes it could be fully, by yourself, or allowing other people to help you in achieving that goal, in achieving that responsibility or duty that you've placed for yourself. But most of the percentage or the work ethic has to come from you. It could be 80-20, 75-25, whatever, but most of the work has to come from you, because that will show that you are independent. You don't really need more people, or you don't really need most people's help in what you're trying to achieve. Right? And in whatever that you have to know about yourself, or in whatever that you're doing to learn about yourself, I know some people value people's opinions more than themselves, and you need to stop doing that, because once you value other people's opinions more than what you think about yourself, then people have control over your life. People really have control over your life if you're going to value what other people say about what you know about your life and what you want to act upon. I don't know if that makes sense. Right? So value your opinion more than other people's opinions. I know, people might say positive stuff about what we are trying to accomplish. Only accept it if it's positive criticism, and if it's going to build you as a person, if it's going to build your potentiality into actuality. Right? Because as people, we are constantly, and we predominantly function in our potentials more than actuality, and we have to move from potentiality to actuality. Right? Stop functioning in potentiality, because when you function in potentiality, people are going to talk about you have the potential, you have the potential, you have the potential. But what's important is actually turning the potentiality into something productive, into something that you can depend on, into something you can actually create in having a better life. Right? So number 1 is you have to learn more about yourself. Number 2, focus on the things you admire about yourself. We are different as people, right? God has created us, in different ways. If we were all the same, life would be boring. Really, life would be boring. So you need to focus on things you admire about yourself. For example, the skills you have, the gifts you have, the abilities, your strengths. You need to focus on those things. You need to tell yourself that, I'm good at this. Nobody can do it like I do. Right? You need to value yourself more than people value you. Because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. In reality, it's you versus you. Yes, symbolically we can say that it's you versus the world, it's you versus, the haters and the people around. But at the end of the day, It's you versus you. So you need to admire yourself. You need to value yourself. You need to put yourself on a pedestal more than how people put you on a certain pedestal. Right? So you need to value your skills, your abilities. You need to value your confidence as a person. Right? And when you do so, you do not really rely on other people to tell you what is good for you. You don't rely on people to tell you what's not good for you, because you already know what you're worth. You already know your value as an individual. You already know your value as a person in the community, in the society, in your workspace. Because you have already created that mindset of knowing, who you are as a person, knowing how you function, and knowing what needs to be in your life in order to function as a person at an optimum level. Not just average, but at an optimum level. Right, guys? So, number 3, making decisions alone. This one is a very crucial one, because making decisions alone can sometimes be tricky for most people, because as much as we need other people's opinions when we want to send that email through, when we want to carry out a certain duty, when we want to carry out a certain task, we need other people's opinions. But when you need somebody else's opinion, that doesn't mean that you should value it more than what you think about that certain thing. Right? So learning how to make decisions on your own does increase your ability to be independent as a person. As a teenager in your studies, as an adult in your workspace, in your business, whatever, you become more independent and you become self-sufficient in making your own decisions. And the reason why you should be able to make your own decisions is because I know it's nice to be helped by other people. It's nice to be given that extra assistance, that extra hand by somebody else. But don't rely completely on those people, because when they are not present in the next decision that you have to make, what are you going to do? Who are you going to turn to? Who are you going to rely on now? Because the problem in depending on other people when it's time to make decisions, when they are no longer there, who's going to make decisions for you? Who's going to help you make those decisions for you? That's why you need to depend on yourself in making your own decisions. Right? And one problem about so many people in the world today, or it's been a long thing that's going. People tend to get tempted for approval. You have so much temptation to get approval from other people. You're not that bold enough, you're not that courageous enough or strong enough to command authority over a decision that you have to make. You enjoy people's approval. You enjoy seeking validation from other people or affirmation from other people because you feel like, they are more important in this situation you are in than yourself. Guys, making a decision by yourself means that you're capable of doing anything on your own. Realistically, if you can make a decision about yourself or about something that involves you, that shows that you can do anything on yourself. But if you put the responsibility, if you put the onus on other people, that means you don't have courage enough to rely on yourself, to rely on your ability to think on your own. Because I'm actually trying to build your confidence. I'm actually trying to build, your self-esteem to be independent. We need more independent people in the community. So many people rely on their parents. So many people rely on their bosses. So many people rely on their friends. I'm not saying that it's bad to rely, on your surroundings, but come on, guys, we don't need approval to make a decision about your life, especially about your goals, about your dreams, about your aspirations. You don't really need approval. You need to take the stand and take on the decision, right? And then suffer if you have to suffer, if the repercussions are obviously bad. But at the end of the day, you are able to make that decision on your own. You're not going to blame anyone but yourself. You're not gonna point fingers. Oh, you said I must make this decision. Oh, you said I must take this step. If you take the decision on yourself and suffer the repercussions on your own, the blame is on you. The blame is on you, but you know what? You become wiser when you make mistakes. You become wiser when you make mistakes. So make those mistakes alone, be bold, and continue with the mission. And at the end, you are going to achieve your goal regardless. No matter what happens, you are going to achieve your goal. Right? So learn how to take decisions on your own and learn how to take the next step on your own. And don't rely on people around you. So much to a point that when they are not there, you suffer. Right? Number 4, guys, learn to give yourself emotional support. This is a very crucial one again. You need to learn how to give yourself emotional support. This one is very deep, especially to people who don't know how to control their emotions. Like, as human beings, sometimes we fail and sometimes we don't know how to deal with emotions at a certain point in time in our lives. It could be a death, it could be a tragedy, it could be a trial or tribulations. We don't know how to channel our emotions most of the time. We depend on our significant others, we depend on our friends, we depend on our family. You know, sometimes you need to be emotionally dependent on yourself. Right? You need to emotionally depend on yourself because, as I said in the beginning or just before this point, be self-sufficient. Be self-sufficient, because when they are not there to help you, when they are not there to be your pillar of strength, you need to be able to turn into a beast. Right? You need to be able to turn into a beast and stand for yourself. And one other thing, we need to also be able to deal with whatever we're going through now. Don't bottle up what's going on inside, because if you do that, that's very dangerous, guys. Right? Bottling up what's going, in your life, because once you do that, the moment it bursts, people around you are gonna get hurt. People around you are gonna get hurt. So it's important to deal with whatever you're going through at that particular moment and get over it. Right? Get over it. Get through it. Right? Get over it. Get through it. Deal with it. And at the end, come out victorious. Come out being able to give yourself that emotional support. Give yourself that emotional support. Be your own pillar of strength. Be your own comforter. Be dependent on yourself, guys. This is a dog-eat-dog world. This is a battle that we're going through on our own. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it's a battle we go through on our own. And we need to know how to deal with it. We need to use certain ways which are effective, which are efficient and sufficient enough to get us through this thing called life. As I said, guys, I'm not saying don't rely on other people. The problem is that the moment you start putting other people first, that's when people are going to actually put you last. That's when they're going to put you last, because you don't value yourself much, because you don't value yourself as much as you should. You are valuing other people before yourself. Just like when you were in a flight. What happens when there are complications? What happens? They tell you that whenever there's something happening, they tell you that to put the oxygen on yourself first before you can help the next person. Because your life is as important as it is to you than to somebody else. Save yourself before you can save somebody else, guys. Save yourself before you can save somebody else. Number 5, guys, the last one. Build your own confidence. Build your confidence. And guys, this one is very important, because without confidence, you can never know what you want in life. Without a high self-esteem, you can never be able to act upon the things that you have set yourself. You can never be able to achieve the dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your duties. You can never be able to accomplish them without being confident. Because self-confidence is a very important thing in one's life to be able to function daily. I'm talking about daily, guys. You need confidence daily to function. When you get out of bed, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and tell you that you are the person you tell yourself you are. You need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are going to do what you say you're going to do, and you are going to do it to the best of your ability. This is something we can actually build in our lifetime. You build it through what? Through mental toughness. Through creating that beast inside of you. Through creating that person who is going to be able to shut out the negativity, to shut out the naysayers, to shut out the people who are going to be against you when you are gunning for what's yours. Guys, I hope this video will help you to reach to the top and overcome every obstacle or any obstacle in your life. And that is it, guys, for me. Check you out in the next video. Get up and go get it. Let's go.